So next we will see the integration of hardware and firmware. So all of you know firmware is nothing but it's a software on a hardware chip. Now let us see how to integrate this particular firmware and hardware on the hardware. Now let us see the different mechanisms used. One is out of circuit programming. So we first you have to understand one thing. You take any embedded applications, there will be a small assembly code or C code running. So for that, you require systems. You require our normal systems, normal desktop or laptop systems you require. So you have to do the programming using these systems only. You have to debug the errors in this particular desktop systems only. And later you have to compile, and finally you have to convert it into the machine code. Till that point, you have to do everything on the desktop system. The final executable code is what you have to put it on a chip. I hope you are trying to relate it. The final exe file, the binary bits, zeros and ones, machine code, that you will be putting it on a chip. So the mechanism that is used to put this particular program on an IC or the target controller, microcontroller, we have several methods. So the first method is out of circuit programming. So what we do initially, we will put it onto that IC, and then we will actually put the, after programming that particular IC, after burning that particular machine code on an IC, that IC we will take it and put to the target application. So you can take examples of washing machine ovens only. So whatever the board it has got, PCB board, on that there will be a controller. It has a program in it. So for programming that, we have already, they have already made use of a computer. They have programmed it. They have written the program, executed, and final exe file is what is being dumped onto that particular IC. So now what we are going to talk is how to put that particular code on that IC, because once you put it, the IC becomes independent, and that IC you're going to put it into a washing machine. So likewise, you'll be programming 10 ICs and you're going to put into 10 different washing machines. Or you can take the example of the buses, Volvo buses, the scrolling text which gives a destination. So each bus will have its own chip. So the programming is done for every buses, and that particular program they have to put it onto a IC, and then it has that IC should be inserted on a board to that particular bus. So now the question is how we are going to, what is the mechanism used to put the program onto that particular IC? That is what we will be seeing now. So now let's start with out of circuit programming. So now in case of out of circuit programming, here the programming is always performed outside the target board. Means what example I said, means first I will program the IC and then I will put it into the target board. The processor or memory chip into which the firmware needs to be embedded is taken out of the target board and it is programmed with the help of the programming device. So target board, you can take an example of oven, washing machine, or the buses. You will take the target PCB board, you will take that IC and separately you will take it out from the target board and then you will program it. So this, now we will see how the steps are followed. So we'll take the same example of a washing machine only. Now let us see how we are going to program that IC. So there is a washing machine, there is a target board of the washing machine. It has got a controller, microcontroller, it has got memory inside that. So now what we do, we'll take out that microcontroller from the target board. Now what we have to do with it? Now we will see one by one. Connect the programming device to the specified port of PC. So for programming that, so let me just show you the diagram and then come back to the step. So the target board is somewhere else, and you are going to make use of one more uh, uh, particular component called as device programmer. So you will insert that particular IC here, and this particular programmer is later connected to the PC, and whatever the exe program you're having, complete executable file from the PC, you're going to dump it onto the IC, that is a controller, microcontroller. And once the programming is done, you will take out that particular IC from the device programmer and you will insert into the target boards. So now let us see how the steps are followed. I'll repeat. So what is that? You have so many, the target boards are there. You have taken the IC from the target board and you have put it here. You are using a component called as device programmer. You will put the IC here. Now this device programmer will be connected to the PC. So which program you want to put into this, it is through the computer, you're going to dump the program onto this IC. When once everything is over, you're going to take this IC and again replace it onto the target board. So target board is separate. So you're taking the IC from the target board. So it is out of target board. So out of outside programming. So we call this as out of circuit programming. So now let's start with the following steps. Connect the programming device. So whatever the component I said, which is meant for programming, connect the programming device, that is this one. Connect the programming device to the specified port of PC. So PC using either USB, COM, parallel port, etc. Next, power up the device. So switch on the system. Next, execute the programming utility on a PC and ensure proper connectivity is established between the PC and the programmer. Ensure that there is a proper connection between PC and the programmer. After that, unlock the zip socket by turning the lock pin. Now, what is a zip socket? This is one. A socket is a place wherein you can put the IC here. So this programmer has got a zip socket. So you have to unlock that. Unlock the zip socket by turning the lock pin. So you're opening that particular socket. Now insert the device to be programmed into the open socket. So the IC which I want to program, I'm going to insert it here. After that, lock the zip socket. So IC is locked. Then select the device name from the list of supported device. So you have a program here. Select which device you're selecting, which programming device you're selecting, and whatever the program you want to put there. Load the hexa file. Hex file is nothing but the executable file, which has to be embedded into the device. As I said, the final executable file I'm selecting. That I'm going to load it onto that particular IC. Program the device by program option of the utility program. So using the software program options, you're going to dump it onto the IC. Then wait till the operation of programming operation. So wait till the complete operation is over. Ensure the programming is successful. You'll get a message when completely the program is burnt on that onto the microcontroller. So which part of microcontroller will be using? It could be a flash memory, RAM or EEPROM. We can use any of them. We can choose any of them, and we can burn it here. When once it is burnt completely, you give a successful message. When once it is done, unlock the zip socket. You unlock this and take the device out of the programmer. So take the device out of the programmer. So in this way, we are going to perform out of circuit programming. This is one method of integrating firmware with hardware. Now let us see another method, that is in-system programming. So in the previous case, we took the IC out of the target board, but here with in-system programming, programming is done within the system only, meaning the firmware is embedded into the target device without removing it from the target board. Means the board has got the target board. In that target board, you have an IC. There only directly you will do programming. You will not take the IC from it out of the target board. So for that, we make use of SPI protocol. So the PC that supports this kind of mechanism has got an SPI protocol. So devices with SPI in-system programming support contains a built-in SPI interface. So using SPI, the communication is established between the computer and the target board, and the on-chip EEPROM or flash memory is programmed through this interface. So using this SPI interface, we can do programming of EEPROM or flash memory present on the target board. So directly we are going to do the programming. Directly we'll put the program onto the IC, which is on board, on target board. So this type of mechanism is called as in-system programming. Now let's go to the next category. In application programming. This is system programming, means complete program you're dumping it on an IC. Application programming means in application programming is a technique used by the firmware running on the target device for modifying a selected portion of the code memory. For example, now we are inserting a traffic lights in a particular junction. After maybe 1 or 2 years, you will find whatever the time settings you have made, you have to change it because of the traffics. So wherever traffic is more, you have to reduce the time. Wherever traffic is less, you can increase the time. So you have to modify. So this only that part you have to modify. So what you have to do in so this provision is also provided by in application programming, wherein you're going to modify only a selected portion of the code memory. So that is also possible, not the entire program, only a selected counter value or register value you can modify. Next, another type of integration is use of factory programmed chip. Here, it is possible to embed the firmware into the target processor controller memory at the time of chip fabrication itself. So how is that? So far, whatever I have discussed is that the IC is already there and later you're programming to that. But now use of factory programmed chip means when you're manufacturing that particular IC, along with the manufacturing of IC, you're going to fabricate even the programs into that. Means the IC is manufactured along with an inbuilt program. So such chips are known as factory programmed chips. Means you need not have to burn separately, because the chip has been manufactured with the inbuilt firmware, inbuilt program. So this mechanism is called as factory programmed chip. So these are some of the mechanisms. Now, firmware loading for operating system based devices. The OS based embedded systems are programmed using the in-system programming technique. So whenever we are loading the operating system, usually it will be in-system programming technique. Through that only you're going to load it. Means that it is there on the target board and you're loading the OS. So the OS based embedded systems, usually it contains a bootloader. All of you know. What is the role of this bootloader? Its main role is to take the copy the OS image to the RAM of the system for execution. So the main role of bootstrap loader is to load the operating system into the target system. Now the bootloader for such embedded system comes as preloaded, means something I can tell factory loaded IC, wherein the chip is already coming out with a bootstrap loader. So if that is the case, then bootloader, when once you insert it, it will execute first and later it will load the entire operating system into the target system. Or it can be loaded into the memory using the various interfaces supported by like JTAG. So this JTAG we will study later. Okay, so this is another mechanism. Otherwise, you can also load it using JTAG. You will see that. So now, so these are some of the mechanisms of integrating the hardware and software. So whatever we have discussed, let me just brief it. So what are the different mechanisms we studied? Out of circuit programming is one. And the next one, in system programming, you're loading the entire program on a system directly. In application program, part of the code can be modified. Factory programmed output, that is the chip is coming along with the inbuilt program. And another one, bootstrap loader, is another mechanism wherein the IC is loaded only with a bootloader, which is responsible for loading the OS into the entire system. So these are some of the mechanisms. So now let's go to the next topic called as disassembler or decompiler. So what is this? Assembler, you know, converting the assembly language to machine language is called as assembling. What is disassembling? It is a reverse, means converting the machine code into assembly code is known as disassembling. Assembling assembly to machine code. Disassembling machine code to assembly code is known as disassembling. So it is a complementary to assembler cross assembly. So they are usually used in reverse engineering. So this type of disassembly is used in reverse engineering.